Y'all, know what I mean? You got like some very, very wild stuff from the late, great Telvin Osborne. And before I actually go forward on what I have to say, I want to give my deepest condolences to his family and some of his closest friends in regards to the tragedy. You see, homeboy that's literally shot up in the white tee, in which his girl that's pictured basically up in the yellow shirt, who they shared children with, basically offed him after accidentally cleaning his gun, shortly after getting hammered from the night out. And look what we found up in the X streets and the Instagram social media streets. While we have his family backing Telvin in his honor, Telvin, aka Mr. Telbo Rankins, up in the social media streets, has basically stated on social media, basically he's stating that my name Telbo Rankins, but when you see me, I'm white. Even though in the photos is clearly not the case, he is basically being the modern day Clayton Bigsby as well as the modern day Myron Gaines. Yes, this goofy Myron Gaines that normally crashes out and tends to actually act an ass. Yes, this goofy right here. And this is not even the worst of the posts that you actually see there, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, right? And this is coming from Telbo Rankins' mouth. He would quote, and I want to try and be very careful in all these things here. I don't want to try and be very racial due to the whole social media guidelines, but this is what he said, ladies and gentlemen. He says, I'll fuck a dog before I fuck a black bee. It gotta be a white dog, though. So, in his words, he rather literally perform bestiality, okay? Bestiality on animals, literally. Than to actually be with a woman definitely within his own community or with his own skin color. Not only is like the most that is like those are the most goofiest stuff I've ever seen in my life, but it's extremely weird, extremely corny, you know, extremely beyond depravable and extremely weird that would literally go to this mindset. It's literally dusty to the nth degree. Just like with the now accused accidental, you know, offing girlfriend actually basically offed him, quote, quote, accidentally, right? She's dusty too. Extremely dusty to the core. Why would he even pick this type of woman that's really dang dusty to the core where they got like much better white women that have way more higher sense than this woman would ever do? And on top of that, many of the black women that you actually mainly see here, they can actually disguise themselves in so many ways, and they're actually so much fun too, in my personal opinion. But if you want to date somebody, whoever your preference is, do whatever you want to do, that's your life. But you don't really need to actually belittle race, just actually try and go out and kowtow and praise a certain group of women, as you see here, just to try to profess your love. That's literally like high-powered simping. And a lot of like the people up winning their race and all that were literally trying to look at him as definitely side-eyed. High level, pseudo weirdo, red pill, bestiality, high level dusty behavior, in my personal opinion, ladies and gentlemen. But all craziness aside, moral of the story is please don't follow. Don't be following this dude's lead on all this stuff when it comes to, again, women of like some certain races. You want to date whoever race you want, that's your right. But you don't have to be literally belittling people within your own family to do that. That's really beyond ridiculous, man. You don't need to do all that to do so. Just thoroughly vet people properly, vet people thoroughly, and you won't even have these problems. You ain't got to be doing all this sick stuff that, the late Telvin is mainly doing. And I say late, I don't want to try and like disrespect anybody that transitioned. But we can definitely learn from his mistakes and definitely move forward. I actually try to apply it whenever it comes to dating. You don't really have to belittle people in your own family. Just actually try and pick whatever purpose you want. All you got to do is mainly vet thoroughly. and you don't even need to perform bestiality to do it. All right? And once again, deep condolences to his family. Hopefully Telvin gets the justice that he truly deserves. And hopefully this little demon here gets to go sit in jail for a very long time, with the kids mainly taken away.